I want to begin by saying I come from a long line of haters. And I come by it honestly. My whole family, for generations, were professional haters. One thing I could always rely on when I come home from school, and it really gave me a nice sense of security, is that whenever I walked through the door, my mother would be waiting with a fresh batch of hate, telling me about everybody who sucks, who lies, who's shitty, who's fucked up, who steals, who's gone to jail, who died. And so I was kind of raised to be anxious, nervous, depressed, hypervigilant, and raised to feel that I could never trust anybody. And I'll give you some examples. I remember once I came home from work, I was working the garment district in New York, and I came home and I said, Ma, I can't believe I saw him. I really saw him. How do you know it was him? What do you mean, how do you know it was him? There were bodyguards. There were thousands of news reporters. There were thousands of people in the street. I still want to know how you know it was him. Ma, it was the Pope. How do I know? I wouldn't be so fast to believe it was the Pope. Another time, come home, Ma, I met a cute guy, he's a doctor. When you're Jewish and you say you met a doctor, I mean, she was gonna lay, how do you know he's a doctor? Well, he said he's a doctor, and he had a stethoscope and scrubs. Schmuck. Anybody can go out and buy a stethoscope and scrubs. Did you see his license? No, then it's bullshit. I went to a very upscale, private, snooty school on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, and some of the kids who went there were incredibly wealthy. And one day I went home with my friend Debbie Margulies, who lived on 81st and Park Avenue. That's really nice. And I was amazed because we got in her elevator, and the elevator opened up into her living room. And the entire floor was hers. And everybody who lived in the building, their entire apartment was the entire floor. So I went home and I said, wow, Ma, Debbie Margulies must be really rich. How do you know? She lives on 81st and Park. So what? Ma, you get in the elevator and it opens up to the floor, the whole floor. I hear they're on the balls of their ass. Did you count their money? No. So I basically made to feel whenever I trusted somebody or believed somebody, I was naive, I was a schmuck, I was an asshole. Don't trust anybody, you do very well in life. So online dating was not something I would even think about, because who trusts anyone when you see them, let alone online? Well, one day, and I'm sorry for people this offends because it's a little dirty, I went to visit a friend of mine who said, if you're ever in the neighborhood, come and see me. I was in his neighborhood, my girlfriend and I went to see him, and he introduced us to his roommates. One of his roommates was sitting behind an old-fashioned monitor, so it obscured her whole body and her whole head, except the very top of her head I could see blonde hair. And my friend introduced me to her, and she was screaming, dicks! Dicks! I gotta get these dicks off my computer! How can I give this to my son with all my dicks on here? So my friend and I are standing there, we're mortified. The hell is she talking? She doesn't even know who we are. She hasn't even looked at us. We could be the cops. Not that you can get arrested for that, but it certainly doesn't look good. So I said, so what are you talking about? And he went on to explain to me that this woman goes on Craigslist casual encounters, and she has fuck buddies. As a matter of fact, Wednesday night is gangbang night. And I'm standing there, I didn't know whether to shit or go blind. I figured, she's gotta be gorgeous. She's gotta be tall and thin and blonde and lit. And she comes out from behind the computer, 600 pounds, a striped tube top that's almost coming off, and a mini skirt so short, I could swear if I looked I'd see the pubic hair, but I didn't want to look. So I said to her, what's this with Craigslist? Oh, I have frat boys, they're gorgeous, I've had them for years, and I'm thinking, this has to be an initiation rite. Why would a guy in his right mind hook up with this? There has to be drugs or something in it. So she said, you want to see pictures? I said, of what? I said, I only want to see pictures of clothed men. And she showed me pictures, and some of them were kind of cute. So it got me thinking. I was in a miserable relationship that I'd been in for way longer than I should have, as many of us tend to hang on. I stayed in this relationship primarily. I wanted to get my daughter through high school without making her have to go to another school and be with other kids, because she had been with the same group of kids for years. So I started thinking about it. And I think, you know what? I want to test the waters anonymously. I haven't been with other people in a while, and I don't want to make an ass out of myself. I want it to be anonymous. And on Craigslist, it's going to be anonymous. So I started looking at ads. The first ad I pop up, penis, erection. I mean, like, this guy's holding a cannon in your face. And every picture I look at is a penis. Big, small, hard, soft, which is something I have to comment about. If you're a man and your penis is soft, why would you take a picture of it? I'm just curious. Do you think that a woman's going to look and say, oh my God, that's so hot. Oh, I'm on fire. Circumcised, uncircumcised, pierced, non-pierced, black, Hispanic, Asian, maybe Jewish, I don't know. I don't say. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not attracted to those kind of ads, but how do I know it's his dick? How do you know that that penis and that hand belongs to the man in the ad? You don't. You don't know. Okay, casual encounters. First meeting, I won't even call it a date. We're talking back and forth a little bit. He's into horses and he rides. I had horses and I rode. So now we're going to meet. But first we exchange pictures, and there's a picture of him that he sent me like this. Playing guitar, looking this way. And he looked pretty cute. So now we're going to meet at Barnes & Noble's at the Starbucks. And I get there first and I'm scared shitless. I'm nervous. And I'm picking at my skin and my hair and this and that. And I'm watching men online buying drinks at Starbucks. And I'm thinking, oh God, oh dear God, not him. Anybody who looked at me, oh dear God, not him. And then I see this one guy looking at me. And I thought, oh shit, shit, not him. Slowly he walks towards me. Aimee? I looked down because I felt so uncomfortable. Yes. Hi. And he said his name, which was a long Hawaiian name. He was Caucasian, but he was raised in Hawaii. And he sits down. I pick my face up and I look at him. And I realize he has one fucking eye. Didn't mention that in his profile or in talking to me. And then I'm thinking, but wait a minute, I saw a picture of him. Ah! He was in profile. My mother's right, you can't trust anybody. So there I am sitting opposite this guy with one fucking eye. You don't know where to look. If you look at the good eye, you're being rude. If you look at the empty socket, you're staring. If you don't look at him, it's not polite. Where do you look? So I figured, all right, I'm going to be a trooper. I'm giving myself 10 minutes to find out what happened to the eye. 10 minutes and I'm out of here. So I say to him, so you grew up in Hawaii, huh? He said, yeah. I said, great, great. Any deep sea accidents? Any deep sea diving? Spear fishing accidents? Encounters with great whites? No. That was the end of that one. The next one, for those of you old enough to remember, Wink Martindale from Tic Tac Dough. This guy had dyed hair, a nose job, and capped teeth. I was so turned off. After 5 minutes, I didn't know what to do. And he wanted to kiss me, but I was scared of dislodging one of his caps, so I refrained, as much as I wanted to. Third guy, nice guy, I wasn't into him. It was not a mutual thing, but he had a great hobby. He was involved with wild cat sanctuaries, like lions and stuff like that. Second day, we meet at the Loft Theater. And he says to me, before we go up to the movie, would you like a schnacky? What did you say? Would you like a schnacky? I said, did you say schnacky? Yeah, you want a schnacky? And I said, no. That was our last date. And you know, I started to venture on to Match.com, and there were men with turbans, I'm not kidding, with hairs coming out of their nose, from Nepal who wanted to meet me. What are we going to do, meet for lunch in Outer Mongolia? What do you mean you want to meet me? I mean, I want to meet them anyway. But then I see this ad that normally I wouldn't answer, and it was a serious ad from a guy who wrote too much, it was kind of arrogant, and he had a picture the size of a postage stamp. It's a guy, dark hair, leaning against a red car with a palm tree. But he had 2 legs, 2 arms, and 2 eyes. So I write him back, I said, that's a great picture, you got a close-up? So he sends me a close-up of his elbow. So I thought that was really obnoxious, I liked it. So I sent him a picture of my finger, this one, not this one. So we go back and forth, what's your name? Piers Armstrong. Oh yeah, well, my name is Arnie Kutakorpi, and I used to farm reindeer in Lapland. So it was really, he said, I'm really obnoxious. I said, I'm really obnoxious. And then he said something that really got me. He said, most people find me very annoying. I was in love. I was in love. So now's the big night, we're gonna meet. He comes to my house. I make him sit outside by the horses, they're running, there's dust. And he says, do you think we can go someplace else? He meant the house. So we walked through the house and went in the backyard. And we're talking, he's really nice, but not for me, not my kind of guy, just not my type. And we're talking, and I said, how old did you say you are, 48? He said, no, I'm gonna be 50. You lied! Your ad said 48. He said, no it didn't, we're going back and forth. He said, I'll prove it to you. I will absolutely prove it to you. We'll go in your house, we'll look up the ad. Let's make a bet. I said, okay, what's the bet? Well, if I win, I get to kiss you for 5 minutes. What do you want if you win? I said, I want you to leave. Well, he won the bet, and we've been together for 6 years, and I've never been happier. And to my children sitting, my adult children sitting in the front row, I apologize to say penis and dick in front of you. I'm really sorry.